That's right. So today we'll talk about state politics, especially infrastructure development. We'll also look at the CNG initiative of the federal government, especially with subsidizing 50% of it. And then we're also talking about these varied issues, in the course of the program today. But let's start with the interesting part of the story this morning. As Nigerians continue to celebrate the 2024 Democracy Day, the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Nkeiruka Onyejeocha, has paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. The minister was accompanied by Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations in Geneva, Switzerland, Ambassador Richard Adejola. After the closed-door meeting, the minister granted an exclusive interview to TVC News, highlighting possible collaboration between the ministry and the organization.
We had a very fruitful deliberations, and I'm happy that I took this opportunity to meet with her, and I'm glad, and I believe that with her support and renewed support, that renewed agenda, that my ministry is going to be one of the best in few months to come.
Interesting development, Olamide, and especially with the latest development, coming from the Minister of State for Labor and Employment, Nkeiruka Onyejeocha, talking about partnership and collaboration, capacity building, training the Nigerian workers. Because oftentimes we always say some of the civil servants are resistant to change when it comes to, adoption of technology, latest technological innovation and all of that, and looking at red tapeism, bureaucratic movements in the civil service and all of that. Generally, I feel this is just going to bring something very interesting to the civil service, especially for workers in Nigeria.
Absolutely. And it's good that we have one of our own as the DG of the World Trade Organization. And it's good that it's also coming at a time where we're having this discussion on the acceptable minimum wage that we should have.
That's right.
I'm sure the conversation would have also bordered on labor standards, meeting up with the labor standards of the World Trade Organization, talking about access to work. We also had the DG visit the president, was it late last year, to discuss the issue of unemployment and how we can find a way to, bridge some of these gaps in the labor market. So I'm sure these are some of the issues. They also mentioned something about training of workers. We're talking about productivity of workers, not only in the private sector, but we're also talking about in the public service, the civil service, ensuring that these workers are as productive as the wage they're asking for. And so, in the end, it's going to help us as regards job creation and ensuring that we have inclusiveness in the economy.
Absolutely. So we also talk about the economic growth and job creation, which you mentioned. And then the beauty of it is the international cooperation and diplomacy, because we can't take Nigeria out of the global space. There's so many, there has to be a relationship with Nigeria and the global community, because Nigeria can't actually work in isolation. But we need to move on to talking about other issues, events happening in Nigeria.